Oh, goodness gracious. He started going live. I thought he'd be playing I thought we'd have the theme music by now. But anyway. Well, just goes to show you, everyone, all these glitches can happen no matter what you do. Evening, people. Good to have you here. And this is me, Manny Thangarai, one of the co-hosts of Oris Talks Football. Happy to bring you a little preview for Game Week 22 of the English Premier League. We will be discussing a few select games and also possibly having a bit of a chat about the activities of certain clubs during the transfer window, which of course got over at 11 p.m. on the 31st of January. That was on a Tuesday. And so we're in February right now, a new month. This is going to be the start of the sprint to the finish with the league getting over in May. And this is going to be when a large number of teams, either fortified or weakened by their transfer dealings in January, will certainly look to try and either make a last charge, a last dash, or they could end up being weighed down and they may end up, dropping out. As always, with any marathon, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we didn't have the best of starts today, but we're going to try and have a good middle and certainly finish on top. And the best way, of course, to make sure that we have a good finish is to make the most of this new beginning and bring some people in. So if we can just have some guests coming in. Our first guest is, of course, Ollie Sinclair from his own channel, DJ Sinclair, and obviously a fellow Arsenal fan and a Welshman who's excited about the Six Nations, aren't you, Ollie?
Yep, come Wales.
Warren Gatland coming back should be quite fun. And then we also got Kenny in the chat, Manchester United fan.
Hello.
I see the picture of the butcher as your icon. And certainly he might be your go-to person in case you want to get some decent meat for your dinner table, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Martinez is goated, mate.
Well, Argentinians do like their meat. And we've got Bailey Francis, the nice lad all the way from the Midlands, proudly repping Aston Villa, and certainly a club on the up. How are you, Bailey? Good to have you on board.
Good, thanks. You?
Yeah, can't complain, can't complain. At least I am wide awake and I'm happy. Just goes to show you never know what you can do until you get some food inside you. And now we're going to get down to business, speaking about the games to be played. And of course, to all of you watching, Orist will be joining us momentarily. But our first game is a real humdinger, a nice West London derby between Chelsea and Fulham. Both clubs, of course, bankrolled by fairly rich people, and certainly in a rather posh area of London, not too far from one another, of course. And ironically, this particular clash sees Fulham above Chelsea in the table. Certainly Fulham are on the up a little bit, and they're travelling to Chelsea with confidence. One of those members, of course, played for Chelsea for several years with distinction, a certain Willian Borges, who Arsenal fans will remember for not so happy reasons. But Chelsea have made some signings, and as I mentioned in the introduction, they could either be fortified by those signings or they could be weighed down. I think from what I've seen of the likes of Mikhailo Mudryk and João Felix, the former might be the case. So we're going to sort of throw it open right now. Bailey, what do you think of this match as a neutral, and who do you see coming out on top?
Yeah, of course, Fulham have had a really good season. They've been playing golf. Mitrovic been scoring goals for Fulham. However, for Chelsea, they of course bought Potter in what they expected Potter to turn things around and get on top six, but they've been playing awful. They're only, of course, a point ahead of 11th, so they're only sitting 10th. I think this might be like a tasty game because people think Chelsea will win, but I think it'll be a draw. I'm going to go 1-1.
So you're predicting a draw, are you?
Yeah.
Well, so you think that Chelsea's array of talent and goal scorers won't score more than one past Bernd Leno?
Nah. I think 1-1.
Kenny, do you share that view?
I think it's a very actually more balanced game than people may think. Because I mean, given that it's at the bridge, people may think, "Oh yeah, Chelsea easy 3-0." But it's two sides that have been good. I know Fulham had a bit of a dip in form recently, but it's only really two games against Spurs and Newcastle. And that Newcastle game as well, they got very unlucky at the end of the day with that penalty. So it's a very even game. I actually think, despite Chelsea's talents, obviously Liverpool, for example, have had a bit of attacking talent. Obviously, I know they had some injuries, but they're ninth. So I actually think Fulham might grab a win here. I reckon 2-0.
Well, what a confident prediction. I mean, I know that since joining Fulham from Arsenal, Leno has had a good season. He's conceded maybe one or two here and there, but certainly made some saves. The confidence with which you predict a clean sheet for him in his defence, it's wow. Ollie, I wonder if you're going to go for such an outlandish prediction.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chelsea winning this one. I'll tell you why. Obviously, it's a West London derby, the only London derby of the weekend, so it'll be an interesting game. I think Chelsea will win this game though, because obviously they're at home. And they do want to start winning games because they are mid-table. I know Hanno doesn't really not confident for this game, but I think they will win. I think I'm going for 2-1. I think that maybe Inter Fernandez might get his debut, but I think maybe Havertz will get a goal. Maybe Sterling as well. I'm not sure whether he'll play. I don't know. He might play. But I think that Fulham obviously score. Mitrovic will score. I always predict a Fulham to score, even if it's a tough game. I always think if Mitrovic is playing, he's got to score a goal. He always does. So Fulham will lose, but Mitrovic will get the consolation goal. And I think Chelsea, obviously, they need to start getting wins up to climb up the table. They can't be, 10th, 9th at this stage of the season. They need to get those wins up. So this is a game they should be winning. And maybe Fernandez could do well in his debut. I think Mudryk will probably start as well. So yeah, that'll be interesting. And I think 2-1. I don't see why not they'll win. Obviously Bailey's draw is fair enough. They could draw, but I think Chelsea will win this game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as I said, with the players coming in, they should have more than enough for them. And I know that Hanno's trying to join in. We will get his views very soon once he's added in. But I actually believe that Chelsea should have enough to win this game, definitely. And Fulham seem to be, to me, I wouldn't necessarily say, reliant on Mitrovic so much, but they can be a little bit, I mean, I don't see them having too much in terms of flexibility. We do have Mr. Trollope in the building. Good evening. But how are you?
Enzo Fernandez.
Who's
Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez.
106 million, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what? You have Casemiro? Oh, poor lad.
Casemiro's way better.
No, but listen, Hannah,
Okay.
you've spent so much money, okay? 106 million. You've got a player, obviously, who was the best young player at the World Cup, and certainly he did look very good, I will admit. But with big money comes big expectations. Do you think he'll prosper?
Yeah, no, he's got everything needed to do well. But yeah, we should do well. I believe we will do well. And
Okay.
yeah, but on this game, I think Bailey has gone for a 1-1 draw. Of course, if Villa win and Chelsea draw or lose, they go above us. But also we got 0 other midfielders to pay with Enzo. Like Zakaria's out, Kante's out, Kovacic is out. So it's either gonna be Ruben or or Gallagher or Mount. I really don't want to eat off them to pair off Enzo, but that's what we're looking at, and that's not good. Personally, I hate it. Cause Ruben, Gallagher, Mount all are average players. Um, so I think I'm gonna agree with Bailey. Yeah, I'm gonna say 1-1 draw. I think we will get nice attacking runs and stuff, but the midfield is gonna be a problem. If we had maybe a Kovacic, even 50% Kovacic, I would still start him, or even a 50% Zakaria. But yeah, no, I'm gonna say 1-1, and I think um, Fulham will get something out of this game.
Yeah, well, need I remind you that you had an option. You could have kept Jorginho and not allowed him to go to come to us, but it is what it is. I still think that you guys should win. It'll be tight, and it could be just the tight win you need to start coming back up the table. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Chelsea. And with that, we can now go to our next match. We've all got our predictions in. Our next game, which will be on Saturday, I believe that's a noonish kickoff. And that sees Arsenal, the league leaders, travelling all the way to Goodison Park to face Everton. And while we await for the banners to be changed by the people behind the scenes, let's talk about that now. And obviously, that's going to be an interesting game because Everton, of course, having sacked the Chelsea legend Frank Lampard, they've brought in Sean Dyche, who is
Chelsea legend as a manager. No, yeah.
When I say legend, I talk about him as a player, exclusively
And
as
as
a
a
player.
manager, he was an amazing Chelsea manager.
Yeah, like Oli was an amazing manager for United.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Yeah, of
Yeah, well,
course.
there are some people who will beg to differ. I think both Frank and Ollie, had good first seasons and certainly showed some ability. But I think when it came to the crunch, they just really couldn't take it further, and they had to leave. But as I said, Everton sacked Lampard and brought Sean Dyche in, and Dyche, from his days with Burnley, is a past master of masterminding relegation dogfights and staying up. And certainly defense is his forte, and he will need to, make sure that the Everton team will be organized. I'm very excited to see how well he will work with his Burnley old boys, James Tarkowski and Dwight McNeil. He will also have to try and get the best out of the likes of Connor Cody and Nathan Patterson and and Seamus Coleman, of course, whose best games are slowly but surely, getting behind him. Everton are a team of talented players, full internationals, but they're just not a group that performs together and really, coagulates together as a whole. And that's one of the reasons why they are down where they are. And so Dyche will have a role to play in terms of fostering that unity in the team. And of course, it's good to have Orest back. Quickly, Orest, what's your prediction for Chelsea versus Fulham?
Chelsea 2-0 against Fulham.
So no clean sheet, a clean sheet for Kepa if he plays. Very nice. Now, of course, we are going back to Everton. Of course, what's quite interesting is that Sean Dyche also has a decent record against Mikel Arteta, having played 5, won 1, and drawn 3, and just lost 1. And he's also masterminded more than a few wins against Arsene Wenger when he was Burnley boss. Because let's face it, back in those days, the Burnleys, the Stokes, they were the teams we hated playing. And that has to be said. But of course, Wenger's no longer managing. Dyche is back in. And Everton will be hoping for a managerial bounce. But of course, Arsenal are top of the league. And of course, freshly eliminated from the FA Cup, they will be very eager to set the record straight as to how good they actually are. So I'd like to start with the Arsenal fan first. And Ollie, that I predicted a 3-1 win for Arsenal because I just don't see real bounce materializing in that regard. How do you see this game going? And do you think Dyche can possibly, put one over in Arteta once again?
No, I don't think Dyche will win this game. I think Arsenal's form, they're doing very well at the moment, and now they're out of both FA Cup and Carabao Cup. They do want to focus on the league and Europa League. I think league's more important. Finish it off. Let's win the league, and then try our best to win the Europa League. But yeah, we should win this game. Our record at the Goodison Park lately hasn't been great, but I hope we end that run. We ended it with Tottenham a few weeks ago. Our record at their stadium, White Hart Lane, and their new one was awful. We haven't won since like 2014-15, and then we won there. So hopefully, we haven't won since 2017 at Goodison. So hopefully, we can win this year. I do predict us to keep a clean sheet. I know Jordan Pickford's a decent goalkeeper, but I can't really name any decent defenders they have. And I'm confident of Ramsdale on our defence. We'll definitely keep a clean sheet. I see us scoring 2 goals. I think it'll be 2-0. Hopefully, Odegaard's back on the clean sheet, goal sheet, getting a goal. And then probably Nketiah. I do see positive news about Gabriel Jesus. He's posted on his story saying after 8 weeks with emojis and his leg looks all right. So hopefully he'll be all right for the Man City game, which I was hoping, playing against his former team. Hopefully, helping us get the win in that game. But no, I do see us winning this game on the form we are, and Everton haven't, really done that well this season. So I'm going with a 2-0. I do see what you're saying with 3-1. Everton could get a goal, and Arsenal, 3 goals, we could get that. But I just see us getting a clean sheet, and I don't see us scoring more than 2 goals. I think, I think we'll win this game. Confident of this game, and we just need to take it game by game, and you need to win this league.
Right. Well, obviously, as Arsenal fans, we both predicted wins, but one fan who was cheekily predicted that we would draw is right here in the studio. Of course, this guy is not an Arsenal fan like us, and certainly has been trying to take the mickey by picking a draw. Orest, the owner of this channel, I'm going to come to you, son. Why do you believe, and I want you to be specific with proper footballing reasons, why do you believe that this match will end in a draw?
Orest,
are you there? Well, it looks as though he might have gone somewhere. But Kenny, let's come to you. What are your predictions for this game? I know that, as Sean Connery would say, Everton have taken a role of the Dyche by appointing Dyche. But do you see this match ending in an entertaining draw, or do you think Arsenal will pull out all the stops and get the win?
I don't think this match should be entertaining. I think, from what I know of Dyche, I know he will just make this. He will try and make it as sticky, as cagey as possible, especially at Goodison Park with the home fans roaring them on. Obviously, there's been a negative atmosphere around there recently, especially with how bad their transfer window was. I do think this will be tighter than people think, but I think Arsenal will pull out winners. But I think it'll only be 1-0. I think it'll be one of those games where you get frustrated, but it'll be like Wolves versus United. Yeah, you get me. Like you end up getting the goal late on, but it's a frustrating game. But you do end up getting the 3 points, I think.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that is typical Dyche football, and I won't ask you to do your Dyche impression. I've never heard that before, and I won't badger you for that. Bailey, what about you? Are you looking forward to Dyche's first Everton game, and what do you think will happen?
Yeah, he's of course born manager. He will try and make this hard. He will try and keep everything up this season. Of course, they're sitting 19th at the minute. They ain't really playing good. They've got probably about 4 big games what they need to try and get points. Of course, they've got Liverpool after Arsenal. Then they've got Leeds and Villa. Of course, I don't think they'll beat Villa, but they could beat Leeds. But yeah,
hey,
however,
right.
for Arsenal, they've been a best team in the Premier League at the minute. So I think Arsenal will win this. I'm going to go 2-0 to Arsenal.
Replying to that Mane question because my Wi-Fi done me dirty there. Manny, you are drawing against Everton. And I'll tell you why, yeah. Sean Dyche, masterclass. Telling you now, masterclass.
3 words does not account to articulated reasons. You honestly believe that he's going to come in there, hit the ground running, and make that team perform as well? I
Yeah.
really don't see that happening.
I think Arsenal are going to win 3-0, like I said in the comments.
Big up.
Yeah.
No, Sean Dyche
Harry,
bomb
first
me,
of all,
Sean Dyche
yeah.
bomb me.
Yeah.
yeah,
Shut up.
I think
okay.
Harry's
so,
trying to create a chant, eh? 3-0.
all right.
No. That's not pretty chance.
Yeah, but anyway, Harry,
Yeah.
let me start by saying welcome to the program, and
Yeah.
I know that
Big
it
up,
was
Manny.
your birthday. I know
Yeah.
that it was your birthday not too long ago, and I hope you had a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thanks, Manny. How you doing? How
Yeah,
you
it's a
guys
shame that
doing?
you support the club.
Yeah, good. And I know that as a Greek guy, you
Yeah.
know how to party, and obviously the food at those parties will be off the chain. So you don't need to be specific. Just tell me just tell us how your birthday went briefly.
Oh no, I actually had a quiet birthday, so
Oh.
I didn't really do anything apart from going on people's streams because it's deadline day. My birthday falls on deadline day, so
That's disappointing, mate.
yeah, I don't have a choice, mate.
We got David Olsen exclusive from Hashim says David Olsen break and Martinelli has now committed his future to Arsenal by signing a new 4.5-year contract. Previous terms were expiring in 2024, and Arsenal had option to extend by 2 years. Fresh and improved deal keeps Brazil winger at Emirates until 2027.
That is music to my ears and to Ollie's ears, obviously. Probably not to Harry's ears as a Tottenham supporter.
You know what,
And,
Mandy? I think he's
yeah.
the next Perez. Yeah. Why are you laughing? Honestly, the guy's like really good.
There is some logic in that, but obviously we've got Trossard, who's just come in from Brighton, and he could lend some really good competition and make Martinelli better. It could very well be that, as with Perez and Freddie Ljungberg, we could see some really good competition between the two of them. Although I was never really a big fan of seeing right-footed guys playing on the left wing.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is. So, Harry, quickly, what's your prediction for Chelsea, Fulham, and what about Everton and Arsenal? I know you said 3-0, but specifically, how do you see this game coming?
So I think initially Everton try and weather Arsenal's storm with Sean Dyche. He'll try and get them organised, but I just think the quality Arsenal have is just going to be too much, and I think they'll just tear it. Once they get one goal, it will just the floodgates will open, and I think they'll get a couple more.
And so not even Dominic Calvert-Lewin can save them, huh?
No. No, I don't think so. As for Chelsea Fulham, I think Chelsea win that 2-0.
Same as Zora's prediction. I go for a 2-1. Mr. Trollope, Everton, Arsenal. How do you see this game going, and are you looking forward to watching it?
Hanno?
He prefers not to speak.
Oh, actually, he said he's sort of out of he's gone somewhere and he might be back a little bit. So we'll get his thoughts on that later. But now it's a good segue into our next game, and that's going to be the next of the Sunday kickoffs.
Sean Dyche bomb me on me. Sean Dyche bomb me on me.
Good to have you back. So, how do you see Everton versus Arsenal going? What's your prediction?
Let's be honest, Arsenal are going to win this. Let's not
And also, Hanno, you're actually Karen going.
Yes, Hanno, finally.
Yeah, Arsenal are going to win this. It will be a tough game, but Arsenal will win this 2-1.
You know what? Don't act like I never heard you singing Enzo Fernandez, because when I was eating my dinner,
Enzo Fernandez. Enzo
I'm really
Fernandez.
jealous Arsenal got
Enzo
I'm coming at Chelsea fans. I'm coming for your fan base.
Okay, listen, Hanno, bear in mind that you have to come to the Emirates and play us. We'll be having Jorginho in our team. If Jorginho scores, I wonder if you'll be chanting that song you have for him.
Imagine Mudryk scores. A hat trick against you lot. That's a perfect story.
Or even worse, Aubameyang comes on as a sub and scores a
Oh,
late winner.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, you already know what I'm trying
Bombable.
anyways.
Young is
We've got
Yeah.
Marcel
super mega.
Sabitzer.
Okay. So, Hannah, what's your prediction for Everton Arsenal?
2-1 to the Arsenal. 2-1 to the
Yes.
Arsenal. 2-1
Very
to
No,
the
tight.
Arsenal.
to the
Very
Arsenal.
tight. I've gone for 3-1, but 2-1 sort
I
of.
think,
Yeah. So,
Manny, you mentioned
yeah.
Trossard. Sorry, I think like it's a very good buy by Arsenal because he's very versatile. He can play all across the front and even in Odegaard's position as well. And I think obviously you guys got Jorginho and you got that centre half. Correct me if I'm wrong, can't remember his name. I do think you guys are like going to win a title now because you've gone out and bought in January, and I think it's just going to happen now. I think Trossard will be key to it though.
Harry, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
win
see.
it. Back United, man. Come back United.
Yeah,
I
we're
can't.
gonna
He's a
have to
because you're
Tottenham
not
fan.
I can't because they're not as good as Arsenal. What am I supposed to say?
Yeah, but anyway, we might
Chelsea,
talk a little bit about
when you have to back your team.
yeah. Okay, listen, we might talk a bit about the transfer market later on, but this is going to segue into the next of our games, and that's going to be later kickoff on Sunday, which is the next game we've got.
Wolverhampton.
Tottenham, Man
versus
City.
Liverpool.
Wolverhampton.
Yes, Wolverhampton against Wolverhampton
Liverpool.
Wanderers.
Liverpool stink.
Yeah. All right, Hanno. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw.
This guy's too gas.
By the way,
It's just too gas.
Liverpool are above Chelsea, by
But-
the way.
But anyway, guys, reset. Thank you very much indeed. Now, obviously, this is a match which Liverpool need to win, and they cannot afford to not get a win from this game because their season has literally it started bad, and just when you think it couldn't go any worse, it really takes a turn for the worst. So this is definitely one of those games which they have to win. We've got Chelsea fan predicting 1-0 win. Another guy saying that Hashim predicting there could be 4-1. I definitely don't see that happening because I can't see where the goals could be coming from for Wolves. But for me personally, this is one game where Liverpool will have to struggle, will have to feel some hurt, but they end up getting the result they need. But it could very well be, as Chelsea fan says, a 1-0 win for Liverpool, and that's what I'm sticking by. I just think it's another game that, as I said, Liverpool will really have to suffer because Wolves are going to be determined to stifle them, and Liverpool will have to huff and puff, but they will eventually blow down the house. And out of courtesy, we now give the floor to Harry, our Greek gentleman.
All right. Okay.
What do you think? What do you think about this particular game? And do you see Wolves pulling off a shock, or will Liverpool just have too much for them?
I think, unfortunately, for everyone on this panel, I think Liverpool tend to win these sorts of games when they need to. So I think it'll be like 3-2 to Liverpool or something like that.
Interesting you say that there are goals in this game from Wolverhampton. Who do you think could be scoring the goals?
I can't think of any Wolves players off the top of my head. But I do think that Liverpool are very susceptible to conceding goals right now. But I do think they'll have enough in the forward areas from like, I don't know, maybe in Nunes. Is he fit to play? Do you know if Nunes is fit to play?
Yeah, Nunes fit,
Yeah.
And Nunes might get a couple goals and then one from like the midfielder or something. And I think they will win 3-2 because I think it'll be one of those end-to-end games where eventually Liverpool win in like the last minute from like a penalty or something like that. Because I think they have to win, so they'll win. Whether it keeps them in the top 4 race or whatever you want to say, I don't know. But in the games they have to win, Liverpool always seem to win.
Yeah, and of course, it's the start of February. So as I said in the introduction, this is going to be the start of the mad dash where, if you're running in a marathon, this could be the time when you sort of start to put on the afterburners and then really make that burst to the front, just like Mo Farah. And of course, Hanno, what do you think of this game? And do you see Wolves pulling off a shock?
I don't really think they pull off a shock. I think it is going to be a quite 50-50 game. And I think it says a 50-50 game. I think it will be a 1-1 draw. It's going to be difficult game for Liverpool, especially away from home. So yeah, but I reckon both teams are going to score. Of course, both teams have quality, but if I have to pick a winner, I'm gonna go with Wolves. But my prediction is a 1-1 draw.
Oh, 1-1 draw. Very interesting. Bailey, I know that you absolutely despise Wolves, but you're not too fond of Liverpool either. So it's fair to say that you might not be watching this game. But what prediction do you have for this game, and who would you like to see win this one?
I'll be at Villa for this game anyway, so I ain't gonna waste my weekend watching this. But yeah, I think Wolves will nick this. I think of course they do have Pedro Neto out, what is a big miss for Wolves. But of course Liverpool are getting their injuries back now. Of course, the injured player, of course, Diogo Jota is set to return. Robert Firmino, Conte, Virgil van Dijk is set to return soon. So yeah, but I just think Wolves will nick there. I'm gonna go 1-0 Wolves. I'm gonna go Podence from a penalty, 90th-minute winner.
Ooh, nice. Well, maybe for that to happen, Joe Gomez will have to play, and yet, given the poor performances he's put in the centre of defence, I think I'll be damned if Klopp continues to give him a chance. Kenny, what's your verdict on this?
I think it's going to be a very tight game. It's going to be a very cage game. A lot of Wolves games have been this sort of 0-0 for a while. I think Liverpool have to win this if they want to get top four. They have to win these games against sides near the bottom of the league. It's a situation where they can't afford to drop any more points against these sort of sides. Obviously, Wolves near the bottom. I just think that Wolves, with how they normally miss a lot of chances in games, and Liverpool, I think they'll just have that clinical edge and they'll win 1-0. I think Wolves will play better, but I think Liverpool will just squeak out an undeserved win.
Yeah, it's a game where they will suffer. I don't see them creating too many chances, ironically. Maybe they will, but they just won't put them away. Orest, what's your take on this?
Yeah. Wolverhampton versus Liverpool. Wolverhampton's gonna win this, man. They're gonna win this game. It's gonna be another loss for Liverpool. But yeah, Cody Gakpo, I don't know what's going on with him, but I'm just happy that we didn't get him. I'm just happy. So yeah, man. I'm gonna say 2-1 Wolves.
Wow, a lot of people predicting Wolves to win. Ollie, are you going to join that club?
No, I'm not. I'm backing Liverpool in this game. I know they've been poor, but they need to win this game. Wolves aren't the best team, and they need to start getting the wins up. They're currently mid-table. They don't want to be mid-table. They want to be getting the wins up, and they should be winning this game. I do predict Wolves to score, but I'm going with a 2-1 Liverpool. I did actually predict a win against Brighton in the Cup. I just thought last time I predicted a Liverpool win, so I thought I'd switch up to a Brighton win. I said 2-1, and it was 2-1, so quite lucky with that. But I hope I get this prediction right. I probably not 2-1, but I'm hoping for a Liverpool win. I'm going 2-1 Liverpool. I think with Wolves, like Kenny said, I can't really think of any Wolves players that would score or any
Costa,
on
man. Costa.
Costa might score maybe, and then Liverpool hoping maybe Salah will get a goal for Liverpool maybe, and maybe not Nunes. I don't know who will get the other goal for Liverpool, but 2-1 Liverpool for me. I know everyone's backing Wolves, but I just think Liverpool needs to get the wins up, and they should win this game.
Yeah, definitely. And now we go to another kickoff, and I know that we're focusing mainly on the top six in their few games they've got. So we dealt with Chelsea, we dealt with Arsenal, we dealt with Liverpool, and we've got two of the top six clashing. Not too long after conceding 4 in an almighty choke, Spurs have got to deal with Manchester City, who are coming to the Tottenham Stadium to either continue the agony or face Tottenham revenge. Now, we will talk about the changes that Tottenham have made in the transfer window, Harry. But in terms of personnel, I wonder if you're happy with the current squad. I'm not too sure you felt happy with City scoring those 4 goals and coming back from 2-0 down at the Etihad. And I just wonder whether, with that particular game, that could very well sum up Spurs' season. A lot of endeavor, a lot of promise, but in the end, just not that steel necessary to close out games and get the win when you need to get that win. And how do you think this game will,
Okay.
pan out?
See, I think some of these comments are actually quite relevant because I don't know if you guys are aware there is a protest planned before the City game from the Spurs fans against
Okay.
Levy and the board.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, it's planned. I
Where
think
is
about-
Ed Sheeran involved again?
No, there's no Ed Sheeran involved anyway. But let me just say what I'm going to say. So
Is,
I do
is
think
it
that.
wait?
Huh? Is that 3
Is it
o'clock?
going to be a
outside
proper protest or
Yeah, proper protest.
an also protest?
How are you joining that protest, Harry?
Well, I don't think I can actually make it on time. That's the problem. I'm going to the game, but I can just about make the game. I have to do
Oh, yeah,
something
because
in the
they're
morning.
doing
So
away before kickoff, right?
it's like, huh?
Are they doing away before kickoff or?
It's like
during?
I think it's around 3 o'clock before kickoff. The kickoff's
Okay.
4:30. I think they're doing it at 3, and then they're planning to bring like flags and stuff like that into the stadium, and then sing chants all game, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? But I do think that sort of thing will affect the match, and I say this because I think someone like Porro will probably get a start because I don't see how Emerson plays again. But you never know with Conte; he's quite stubborn. I think.
Oh no,
Spurs,
Conte won't be available because of his thing.
I know, but he'll pick the team. It's Stellini, I think, is taking charge as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
And I think he's quite stubborn, so I think we'll see Son again, which he did score the last game, 2 goals. So to be fair to him, he probably deserves to keep his place for now. Kulusevski, Kane, Bentancur, Højbjerg, the standard lot. And God knows who's going to play in that back 3, but it'll be Romero and 2 others. And then I think Lloris, unfortunately, will probably keep his place. And I think Conte just doesn't seem to change it. And I do think, again, I think Lloris will probably make a load of mistakes. And I think City will beat us. Maybe not 4-2, maybe 3-2 this time. But I can see Porro scoring if he starts, and probably Harry Kane as the 2 scorers. And then I think City will just tear us apart.
And Kyle Walker coming back to his former club will
Yeah.
obviously add a lot of intrigue to that. So score-wise, what's your prediction?
3-2 to City.
So tight, not quite like the 4-2 that was there at the Etihad, but then certainly goals in this game. Oris, do you believe there'll be goals in this game?
Yeah, I do believe Spurs will win. In fact, so yeah, man. So see, they're crumbling right now, man. Obviously, Cancelo, he's gone. Yeah, I think Spurs are going to win 2-1.
A big call, really, because I wouldn't say that City are crumbling.
They just sold one player. That's what it was.
I mean, yeah, they let Cancelo leave, but they do seem to have some decent replacements. The only problem is
Lewis?
defense.
Is that his name? Lewis.
Rico Lewis.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not too
Yeah.
convinced by him. I mean, he normally gets some minutes, and then Walker comes on in this place to sort of tidy up anyway.
He was
But on
really
the
good
left-
against us in the first game.
And then, of course, at left back, they're using Nathan Ake as a sort of a makeshift left back. He's normally a centre back, but go figure, that's sort of the way it is. Ollie, do you think Spurs will do us a favour, or do you think City will just crush their supposed bogey team once and for all?
Obviously, I want Tottenham to win this game, but I see it being a City win. I think Tottenham will score. I predict 3-1, but as I said, if I do watch the game, I will be rooting for Tottenham. But if Man City win, I'll probably hope for a 3-1. But obviously, City, we want them to lose this game because we'll go 8 points clear if we win. But yes, I mean, City are the better team. They're doing better than Tottenham this season. But Tottenham could don't write them out. They could win. They're at home. And City could have a bad day, but I just can't see City losing this game. And they want to, catch up with Arsenal, so they want to be winning this game. I'll go 3-1 Man City.
Okay, interesting. Kenny, will you be rooting for Spurs?
Yeah, I don't want City to win it again, I'll be honest. I'd much rather Arsenal win the league. I think it'll be a close game, given the fact that it's at Spurs. Obviously, City do tend to struggle against Spurs. And they've had, for City standards, I don't think this season has been overly great for them so far. Obviously, letting Cancelo go. I have a feeling this might be just like a 1-1 draw. I think it'll be a close game. closely matched. And yeah,
So not too many goals in this one for you, huh?
nah. So I think it'd be a bit disappointing, to be honest.
Okay. So scoreline?
1-1.
1-1. Wow. A very big call indeed between both teams who need to win. Bailey, how do you see the game going?
Yeah, I think City will win this. I hope Spurs win, but yeah, I think City will knit there. There will be goals from both teams. I'm gonna go 3-2 to City. I think Haaland with 2, and I think Jack Grealish. And for Spurs, I think Kane and Son.
Yeah, City just seems to have too much firepower at the moment. Hanno, I know you definitely don't like Spurs. You're not a big fan of Manchester City. Who would you rather see come out on top, or would you rather see both of these teams share the points?
I think I was thinking what I said 1-0, but this thing that Zari said about the protest and the owners, the chance, it's making me think maybe a draw or City win. Yeah, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it 1-1. No. Then I'm copying Kenny. Don't want to copy Kenny. Yeah,
copying
so I
me.
will say 1. I will say 1-0. I'll say 1-0.
1-0 to
Oh,
City or Tottenham?
Tottenham.
Oh, boy.
Wait, what's
Yeah,
wrong with
nothing-
Ball
copying?
FC.
Yeah, as I said, nothing would make me happier than to see Tottenham beat City, but I just don't
Yeah.
see that happening.
No.
And this could very well end up being a game where City score more of the goals and Tottenham just end up. I mean, maybe they'll score, but this could end up being just another City win. I might go for 3-1 for City. And this nice comment there from Craig Malloy. Apparently, Beyonce will be using Tottenham's trophy cabinet as a changing room because it's the biggest empty space in the stadium.
Well, she can't play centre half, so I don't know why we haven't come to the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, her soccer skills are non-existent at best, so she doesn't even deserve to be a part of the conversation. Let's move on, please. So we dealt with
Beyonce.
we dealt with Chelsea, we dealt with Arsenal, we dealt with Liverpool, we dealt with Spurs and Manchester City, and who is our next top 6 team? United Palace.
Here comes Orest. Yeah.
Yep. I think we're going to save the United boys for the very last for this one. But of course, there will be a good deal of subterfuge involved because not too long ago, Crystal Palace gave United a bloody nose with a last minute goal.
You are the one.
All right, you
Always,
two.
I think you
Enough,
need
enough.
some seeing lessons from Kenny.
Yeah, I think it's fair to
Yeah.
say that. I think it's fair to say that, with the exception of maybe one or two, certainly none of us in this stream have good singing voices. So let's put.
Manny, you have a good singing voice. Let's not do this.
You never heard me
I
sing,
think
but
we need
anyway.
to sing. I
Anyway,
think we need to hear it.
no, listen.
Go on, Manny,
let's
sing.
put-
Go on.
No,
Go
no, let's no.
Sing.
No! Time out. Let's put a cork in it and move on. Let's put a cork in it and move on, gentlemen. We've got so little time and so much to discuss. And obviously, of course, Palace giving United a bit of a bloodied nose at Selhurst Park. And then that sort of that draw preceded Arsenal's win over United at the Emirates Stadium, a tough loss for any United fan to take. They sort of recovered a little bit, had a mini recovery with their performances in the Cup, but it's the League Championship, as many people will say, which is the biggest gravy right now. I'm going to leave the Manchester United fans for the end, but Bailey, I'll start with you. I'd like you to tell me what you expect from this particular game, how you think Palace might probably want to try and set up, and do you see a repeat of the draw, or do you think United will gain a measure of revenge by beating Patrick Vieira's boys at Old Trafford?
I hope United batter Palace because Palace are, of course, just behind us. So, yeah, I can't see Palace beating United. I think they've had a struggling season, to be fair. But yeah, of course. However, for United, I think they've been on fire this season under Ten Hag. Marcus Rashford getting the goals. I think he'll bag 2 and I think I'll go 3-1 to Manchester United.
Very nice prediction indeed. Hanno, what's your prediction of this game, United against Palace? Who will win and what will the score be?
I want to say Palace. I desperately want to say Palace won. But it's United at home. Like Arsenal at the end. You don't bet against them. It's simple as that. So
Very nice. Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
2-0 United, I think. Regular business
Oh.
continues. Masters a bit failing probably.
Yeah.
Going to start most likely. Or
Yeah.
maybe Fred's gonna start. So yeah.
Okay, so we'll look into that. Now, I know that Bailey needs to leave, so let's maximize Bailey's screen so that he can tell us his socials and where we can find him on YouTube or anywhere else.
Yeah, of course. My YouTube is, of course, Bailey Francis. I just do predictions like Championship, Premier League, and of course talk about Aston Villa. And my Instagram and Facebook is, of course, Bailey Francis as well.
Facebook? What are you doing on Facebook?
Oh, it's only Facebook.
Aston Villa curtains.
I'm joking. Big up, Bailey.
Big up, guys.
Big up.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us, and good luck to the Villa
Yeah.
against the Foxes this weekend.
Yeah, and we're gonna
Good luck.
We're gonna come for United and finish top 6.
Why are you coming for United for?
That's a bold
Oh, you mean-
prediction right there. And I'm glad I was able to get Bailey's word on this. And Harry, we're going to come to you. And, again, Crystal Palace, another London team who seem to be punching above their weight. And United, of course, the big team, the big fish. I wonder how you see this game.
I think Oris is going to be very happy with this prediction. I'm going 3-1 to United with a Rashford hat trick, and I think Zaha. I'm not
Wait, do you
joking.
think I should triple captain Rashford in fantasy then? If he's still-
I think Rashford will score a hat trick.
I'll triple captain in then.
Yeah.
I think
We
Zaha
got
fit enough
Palace
for
and
Palace.
Leeds,
I think Zaha
double
will
game
probably
week.
score for Palace.
It could very well be that Zaha scores, and I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka will have another big role to play because, of course, former Eagle. Yep, former Eagle. He came back to Selhurst and had a more than decent game. And obviously, where's that noise coming from?
Yeah, what is going on? Hannah, what are you doing?
I think what he's doing is he has a picture of Enzo Fernandez on his phone. And
Oh, right.
Oi.
he's doing.
That's
Okay,
I
Oli,
believe in.
nice, Oli, nice.
Okay. Whatever it may be, at least we're silent now. Let's be able to find it. Ollie, it's not that funny.
Enzo
Boo.
Oi.
Fernandez.
Listen, you're gonna have to play Enzo Fernandez and Conor Gallagher together. So I don't know. You can keep singing Enzo
I think they're
Fernandez.
selling Gallagher, aren't they?
Nah, they kept him because Gallagher.
No,
didn't
they're
wanna-
keeping
now.
him. I think that there was some talk about Gallagher going out on loan, and we're going to talk further in depth about the transfer windows if need
Yeah,
be.
we'll
But
talk about it
only,
'cause I heard something
well,
too.
but we're going to talk mainly about our clubs, perhaps. So we will have a
Yeah.
lot to say. But Ollie, I want to get your opinions on United and Palace. Who do you think will win, and what will the score be?
Yeah, so United are obviously going to win this game. They drew to Palace away, but that's, Palace have a great fan base. I remember going to an Arsenal game and their away fans were loud, so surely their home fans are loud as well. So moving on to my prediction, I predicted a 3-0 Man United. I don't think Crystal Palace will score, even though they scored in the home fixture. I think Man United will keep a clean sheet. With the likes of Martinez and Shaw and stuff, and De Gea in their back line, I think they'll keep a clean sheet. I think they'll score 3 goals as well. Whether Sabitzer plays, he might get a goal. Weghorst, and probably Rashford will definitely get a goal. He's been in form. He's probably been averaging a goal per game, so he'll definitely score. And yeah, they'll win this game comfortably, 3-0, 2-0. I don't know, but they'll definitely keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, I actually predict they won't keep a clean sheet. 3-1 is my pick. And before Hanno leaves, we're just going to get Kenny's quick prediction. Orest, I know you're going for a United win. So what's your score prediction?
Can you go?
Orest.
Oh,
No, Orest. Just give your score prediction and then I'll go to Kenny.
3-0 United.
Wouldn't expect anything less. I don't think there's much that can be said. Kenny, what about you? What do you think is going to happen? And would this be a game that could get your title challenge back on track?
No, but we're going to win 1-0.
Ooh, even tighter. Very interesting call. Why do you think it's going to be so tight when a large number of us are predicting a much more convincing win?
We always tend to struggle against Palace. And then when you look at recent seasons, we've never really battered them. And I feel like it's going to be another one of these games. I think it's going to be dominance, but Palace always tend to make us struggle. So 1-0.
Okay, very nice. Now it is time for Mr. Trollope to leave. So, but we are going to put the spotlight on you, and we also know that you've got a new YouTube channel that you've just started. So you're welcome to mention your channels.
Chelsea, sir.
Guys, please. Thank you. Hanno, this is your platform now. Talk about your channels, your socials. Where can we find you?
Most of you already know Coach's Corner on YouTube, but I started a separate Chelsea channel just for Chelsea content, just so I can rattle and receive all the tears from Royal fans. Because we are breaking FFP rules just to circle off that in. But yeah, I started that called it Blues Corner, BFJPT for the name. And yeah, on socials, you can find me on Instagram, _coach_corner, Twitter, _coach corner, and then at blues_corner1 on Twitter and Instagram. So yeah, be up Mane, be up Rez, Ollie, Harry, Kenny, and first Bailey. Hopefully Villa don't win, and hopefully we win, so Villa can't overtake us. Because if we're 11th by the end of this weekend, I'm fuming. But we're 10th, but we got Enzo Fernandez, so we're the happiest 10th club.
And if he flops, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, you're still in the Champions League anyway. That's a competition which you've
We're gonna win the Champions League. We're going to win the Champions League.
That's not guaranteed.
No. I know, chill out.
Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, yeah,
what?
That's fine.
Yeah, he had to leave. He had to leave.
No, say it.
Fabrizio Romano, done deal signed. Martinelli has signed the new contract.
Yes, you mentioned that. So terrific news for Arsenal fans. I'm happy. So we will be ending this in a few minutes, but we will talk a bit briefly about some of our transfer windows. Obviously, when it comes to Arsenal, we brought in 3 players: Leandro Trossard from Belgium and Brighton, Jakub Kiwior from Poland and the Serie A. I believe it was Napoli, if I'm not wrong. No, Spezia, if I'm not. Yeah, that's his club. And then, of course, finally, we snagged someone from Chelsea at a cut price deal, Jorginho Freo, who has, of course, won plenty of silverware at Chelsea. And we've also had to see quite a few players go out on loan. Sambi Lokonga's gone to Crystal Palace, and Cedric Suarez has gone to Fulham. And we still have Mohamed El Neni out with a bit of an injury. So obviously Jorginho's capture will help provide more cover for Thomas Partey. And certainly he could be in line to start if Partey has a few injury issues. So Not as much activity as we would have liked, but 3 decent purchases. I gave it generously a 6 out of 10 our window. But Ollie, how would you rate our window?
I think I'd give it a 7. It's a good window, signing 3 players. Obviously, we loaned all our players that we got rid of. Obviously, Lakonga, he wasn't doing too well. He was getting a lot of hate. It's a good move for him going to Crystal Palace, hopefully getting some minutes there. And then obviously Cedric going on loan to Fulham. He'll probably be starting at right back there.
Marquinhos as well gone to Norwich.
Marquinhos gone to Norwich, and there's a few others that I'm not sure who, but then I'd met. And then obviously the inbringings started off with Leandro Trossard, great signing, very cheap as well, 27 million. Obviously, he came on for the United game where we won 3-2. He did very well, and then obviously his first start in the cup against Man City, he had a chance, and obviously set up a chance with Tomiyasu as well. He did brilliant first half. Didn't really do much second half, and he's a great backup for our winger Martinelli. And then obviously we signed Polish centre half for 20 million, which is another great signing. Because we've only really got Holding, Ben White, who's a centre back, but he's playing right back at the moment. Holding, Gabriel Saliba. So we've only got 3 or 4 decent centre halves. So he will be backup for Gabriel, because Holding's backup for Saliba, and Gabriel's have to play in Europa League and Cup games. So it's good that we've got a backup. And then obviously signing recently Jorginho, which I think is a good signing. I think a lot of people have been very negative about it, but I think it's a great signing for us. He's definitely backup for Xhaka and Partey, and hopefully he'll do well for us. But if we would have brought in 1 or 2 more players, I'd definitely given it a 10 or a 9 or something. But I'll give it a 7 because the 3 more ratings just needs to be an extra player or someone like amazing. But I think 7's generous. We signed 3 good players, and we loaned players like Marquinhos. He'll get minutes at Norwich. Lakonga isn't being that great for us. He'll get minutes, and then Cedric as well. We could have replaced Cedric, but we've still got Ben White and Tomiyasu. So
okay,
yeah.
So you're happy with the window, 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a bit of a nursery rhyme. If you're happy with the window, clap your hand. I'm not happy, so you can clap if you want. But and yes, Harry, we're going to come to you because I know that you are hopping mad at your window. But Kenny, I think I'm not too sure what sort. I mean, obviously, United have had some decent activity in the window, bringing in Sabitzer as a necessity because of Eriksen's injury. I do seem to remember you also getting Jack Butland on loan, although Butland surprisingly didn't play against Forest in the second leg. It was Tom Heaton who had an appearance, maybe because Ten Hag wanted to reward him for his professionalism, and then. You've also, in terms of activity, from what I can tell, you've been considerably quiet, in my opinion. But how would you rate your window? And Orest, I'll come to you briefly.
I think Sabitzer makes it a much better window than it is. But then again, Sabitzer is just an Eriksen replacement. Can't really give it higher than a 5 out of 10. Weghorst is not really that inspiring a signing, I'll be honest with you. And he's not really started off that great.
Well, Weghorst isn't bad.
Not started off that great. What do you mean, what?
Guys, Ollie, please, let him say what he wants to say. He's a United player. He gets to talk about his players. Go ahead, Kenny.
No.
Yeah. I don't think Weghorst has started that great. I don't think he started that bad, but I think it's just not been particularly inspiring. Sabitzer, though, I'm very happy with Sabitzer. End of the day, it's just an Eriksen replacement, so I think it's a 5 out of 10 window. You can't really expect us to do much more than this with the Glazers leaving soon as well. So yeah, I'm decently happy with it, but yeah.
Okay, Orest, what do you say to that?
I disagree, mate. We need to stop slandering Weghorst, mate. His link-up play for me. Listen, just for that as in general, for me, I'll give it an 8. Obviously, it's for me. But
that's quite generous.
Yeah, for me, Sabitzer, for me, what a signing, man. It was a very smart signing. Obviously, the attributes he has. Clearly, I think that's a 10-hour play right there for his attributes. But yeah, man, I'm happy with Sabitzer. Obviously, with Weghorst, for me, I don't understand why. with him because his link-up play has been amazing. He brings attackers more involved in play. So for me, I'm happy with Weghorst. With Butland, I have no idea. Maybe just there to give Ten Hag some coffee and training or sell the bibs for Butland. But in general, I'm happy, man. It's a good signing, man. Very good signing.
Okay, so maybe Butland might get a few games later on if De Gea and Heaton will be recent. But Harry, Spurs have had what I would call a very interesting sort of a window because one thing which seems clear is that a chunk of those players who were signed in the summer before the start of the session of the season have now been sent out on loan. I'm looking at the likes of Jed Spencer, one or two others. The issue with Matthew Doherty, it's baffling really because from what I've seen of Spurs, if I were to choose between Matthew Doherty and Emerson Royale, I'd take Doherty any day of the week and twice on a Sunday. And obviously, he has been used as more of a right wing back. So I don't know what the issue was. Why was he forced out so quickly? And what seems to be the issue with his contracts?
Do you want me to be completely brutal? We're run by clowns. So the Doherty situation, number one, they weren't aware about the amount of foreign loans or something like that that already went out on loan. So in the end, they had to cancel his contract because they couldn't loan him out. But I don't know how they didn't realize this before 10 o'clock, an hour before the window shut, probably. So I don't know what happened there. So yeah, that's just really, really, really poor planning. It's just we're not run by football people. As for Jed Spence, as you well know, Conte never played him. Conte never wanted him. So loaning him out to get first team football, like we did with Kyle Walker back in the day, is actually like okay. I'm not against that. It's fine. As for keeping Emerson over Doherty, I think it's a pure club choice.
Yeah.
Because as you well know, Doherty has practiced in, like you said, he's been better for us than Emerson, and also in his time at Wolves, he was playing in that same sort of system. So you would have kept Doherty over Emerson, but Emerson's a younger player. So the club probably see him as potential for more value. You know what I'm trying to say, right? They would just want to sell him on in a couple of years. Fingers crossed if he does something. Yeah,
I see.
And then as for our signings, Danjuma is just the pure fact that he was in the country and we had to loan Gil out. Gil wanted to leave from the summertime, and they thought they'll bring Danjuma in. It's a low risk signing, but it's not really an improvement. I haven't seen enough on Danjuma to say that. Porro is a good signing. He's a good signing. He's the only improvement we've made. But if I was to rate our window, I'd probably give it a 2 out of 10. Really poor. There's a glaring centre half issue, and I don't think the possible exit of Conte is an excuse for that. And shall I tell you why? Because any manager that comes in is going to want a centre half in their system.
Yeah.
So you can't say, oh, well, we can't buy a player for Conte because a quality centre half could play in a back four or a back three or whatever. So
thanks, man.
I think it's just rubbish.
Can I answer this? Spain is less excellent running on than Hugo Lloris. What with Danjuma? Don't you think it's an improvement in your attack, Harry?
The thing with him, it's just a squad filler. Like, it's not gonna. He might be better than Gil, but he might not. I actually quite like Gil, but he's a club signing too. So, unfortunately, too much politics at Tottenham. There's not enough planning. It's very poor planning. I think the Doherty thing shows so much about how out of touch the people that run the club are when it comes to football matters. It's just incredible.
100%.
Okay, so we've already spoken about our transfer windows, and there's something about January transfers that always fills me with a great deal of dread because, we have so many hopes, we don't get too much. So, Harry, don't feel too bad about your window. We could have done a lot better. 3 good signings, but it should have been. We didn't need to be, led one way only to be made to believe another. The equivalent of being sold a horse and delivered a donkey.
You do say that, but for example, Spurs bid 12 million for Trossard. He's a player. I said I was aching. I really wanted him at Tottenham because he can play a creative role. He can give a proper competition to our forwards. But we bid 12 million. You guys signed for 27. 27 million is nothing in this market.
Yeah.
Well, we did get Jorginho. We
need him more than you do. I'd argue.
No, but wait a minute. I mean, are you not happy with Perisic, or do you think he needs some competition?
Well, Perisic is a wing back. Trossard plays further up, doesn't he?
Well, in the World Cup, he was more of a winger because Croatia already had their back
No,
four
we used him
sided.
more as a wing back for the most part. He has played it further up, but he's more the wing back option, if that makes sense.
Typical Conte, seriously.
But with Trossard, he's proven he can play all across the front. He can even play as a 10. I think he could cover Kulusevski or Son, and he could even play in midfield. But that's why I think for me that's a very good signing for Arsenal because I think he's hit the ground running already. And if you didn't get Mudryk, it's not a bad alternative. So
yeah, I mean Trossard's definitely a cut price. Mudryk,
brilliant signing.
We would have spent about 100 million quid for Mudryk, and we missed out on him. And I think he's proven at Chelsea that he is at least partly worth that money. So that's going to be interesting.
I think he'll do really good things actually at Chelsea. Yeah,
we'll see. But we've already spoken about the teams. We've had a bit of a discussion of the transfer window. And the next time we meet, we will either be, just lapping up the plaudits, or we'll be licking our wounds. But it is around about time that we will end this stream. So this is that time where we shout each other out, let each other know our socials. Harry, I'm going to start with you.
All right, okay.
Please tell us where we can find you, or your channels, or your social media, what have you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll start with my social media because it's going a bit crazy right now. So follow me at Hasper92. Right now, if you guys don't know, obviously there's a protest on Saturday. So many Spurs fans are watching this. Please get down there. So because Levy and the board have finally replied back to the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust questions, and I don't think Spurs fans are very happy with it. I'm not either. As for finding my channel, and probably a rant's going to come on by the end of tonight, because I'm ready to go mental. So follow me at Hasper TV. Please like and subscribe.
Okay, very good, very good. Now, Kenny. Okay, Ollie's next. My bad. Anyway, Ollie, go ahead.
Yeah, so of course, on YouTube, Peter and Claire are on the road to 2K this year, but the next aim is 1,040, 3 away from that, I think, at the moment. So go subscribe to me and like some of my videos. I will subscribe if you do as well, and obviously watch back my videos for public watch hours. Apart from YouTube, social media, you can find me on Instagram, ollie.sinclair546, my personal account. And my fan page is Aaron_Ramsdale fan page 1. No Twitter, but you can find me. Any other socials, just DM me for that. But yeah, big up for having me on Big Up the Panel.
All right, Ollie, thank you very much indeed. And who's next? Kenny now with the Butcher. Do please tell us where we can find you and how we can stay in touch with you.
You can find me on YouTube, Kenny Talks 40, on Twitter at DepressedMUFan, and on Twitch, Kenny the United fan. But that is not really active, so.
Wonderful, mate. Thanks a lot for coming in. And we've got 2 people left whose socials have to be shouted. But that's pretty much it. Thank you 3 for coming on. And it has to be me. So you can find me over here as one of the co-hosts on Oris Talks Football. Several other channels on YouTube, Del Boy Gunner TV, S. Featley TV, Coach's Corner, which is, of course, Hanno's channel. Big up to him. I do a lot of terrific work with him. Up the cherries in all departments. Tony Claude Gunner TV, Danny AFC TV, Chelsea Dan, Eugen Spurs Asia TV, Bailey Francis, of course, who was here earlier. Just had a stream with him before coming on. Very enjoyable indeed. And several others with whom I've done a few streams in the past and will hope to do in the future. You're all important to me. Thank you all very much indeed for welcoming me on. And it's good to be chatting with all of you as fans who are, united with each other in our love for the game rather than simply being divided by our tribal loyalty to our club teams. And that's the way it should be. Socials. Catch me on Instagram at MannyThangatherai1981. That's my full name and my year of birth. Twitter, Thangatherai1981. Surname and year of birth. And until then, I want to thank all of you in the chat who've contributed. Thanks to everyone else who's watched the stream. It's people like you who also contribute away from the camera, but very much a part of this stream, and you contribute to the stream being good and the channel being good and the channel gaining a lot more and more rotation. So thank you all for everything you do. I hope you all enjoy your Friday and have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay happy, enjoy the football, enjoy some other sports, enjoy time with your families, enjoy doing whatever makes you all happy. Don't do anything that any of us on the panel wouldn't do. For now, though, I'm out, and it's over to Oris to shout out his socials and where you can find him.
Yes. You can find me on Oris Football on YouTube. Instagram, same thing. You guys know what to do. Also on Twitter, looking at Harry tweeting, leave you out almost every day. So yeah, big up guys. Follow us on Twitter, Oris640. And yeah, man, smash the likes. Big up to Manny hosting as well. Very good stream. Big up to everyone that joined the panel. Big up yourselves, Ollie, Kenny,
Yeah, big up.
Harry, big up to you guys. But yeah, man. Any more comments we would like to add, guys?
Leave you out.
Manny, you looking forward to Everton away?
Yep.
Come on, you Gunners.
As Sean Connery would say, as I've said, Everton have
Connery.
rolled the dice by getting Sean in.
You know
And,
what? I think Sean Dyche is
not-
a good manager. I
He
think
he is a good manager, and he will obviously get the team a bit more solid. Whether it will be enough to keep them up will remain to be seen. But if he does keep them up, it's par for his course, really. And it's not going to be might not be an entertaining game, but in some ways it'll be fun. This could be a test of how patient we are. I would say, though, that we passed one or two similar tests before, but Dyche has done well against us in the past, so this is going to be different gravy, definitely. And yeah, as usual, we've got a good weekend of football coming up, and certainly some terrific games being played. Hope you all enjoy the football and some other sports on TV if you're watching. And
Rugby.
for now, yeah, Six Nations as well for all our rugby fans in the chat. And there will be some more terrific sports action coming up, cricket, tennis, whatever it may be. But of course, we focus on the football. Once again, thanks to all of you for joining in, but it is time for us to say adieu. Enjoy the weekend, and we're all
See
out.
you guys.